How are you? Asante sana. Yes, how are you? Asante. Yako?
Justice report for the year 2018-2019. This is also important. Presents our internal assessments and accounts in whatever we do. We need
report to the public what we are doing. So, Your Excellency, in our plan, we have judges and magistrates.
Of accountability to the public, and Your Excellency, we are very excited that you're the leading of governmental institutions and for the three that advances the quality of government for the benefit of Wananchi. In action, Your Excellency, the Honorable the Chief Justice will similarly, it is the same World Bank project.
Let me begin by saying that I'm pleased once again to join you to witness the delivery of the State of the Judiciary and the Administration of Justice Address Report 2020 by the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. This annual event fulfills the aspirations of the Kenyan people as codified in our constitutional order for a government that is transparent and accountable to them. For Kenyans to be a free people who govern themselves, they fought for decades to overthrow colonial tyranny imposed upon them through law. They succeeded and built a new independent democratic country. The same Kenyans, over the years, have also fought to sustain their democratic dream, intending that all Kenyans be equal before the law and equally served by an honest and accountable government. That fight also demanded great sacrifice from many brave and selfless Kenyans. Further, in 2010, Kenyans gave themselves a new constitution that reflects our deepest democratic and developmental aspirations. In that constitution, they created three arms of government and its two tiers, and they did this to fulfill their dreams of receiving a fair share of our nation's prosperity as a defense of their liberty and to be faithfully served by those they choose to lead all arms and tiers of government. So today, we must ask ourselves all a question, and we must also answer the same. As members of the three arms of government and the two tiers, are we being faithful and faithfully serving our Kenyans? Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that part of the answer is in the affirmative, because there has been progress made in enhancing access to justice through the expansion of the judiciary's footprint and ability to deliver services across the Republic, as the CJ indeed has mentioned. And I believe with the support of the legislature and the executive arms, dozens of new judicial stations hosting superior and subordinate courts have been established in areas of Kenya that were once unserved, in addition to the refurbishment and upgrading of existing stations. And this development in infrastructure has been matched also by a significant increase in the judiciary's human resources. We have more judges than we had before, magistrates, qadis, tribunal members, and support staff joining the judiciary. And in 2020, I believe the judiciary is better placed than at any time in our nation's history to deliver on its mandate, despite the fact that we still need to do more. I take this opportunity to congratulate the judiciary for these achievements, as well as Parliament and the executive for the roles that they have played in delivering these results. And I also applaud you for embedding innovation in the delivery of justice through the implementation of court-annexed mediation. In the period under review, again, as we have just heard, Just over 3,500 matters were referred to mediation, out of which 2,600 were concluded, thereby releasing shilling 7.2 billion that had been tied up in litigation. Yet even as we celebrate the growth of infrastructure, human resource, and other technical aspects of dispensing justice, we still have not fully answered the questions put to us in the Constitution. Are Kenyans today feeling better served by government? And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we owe the Kenyan people honesty and openness. And the simple answer is that we are all falling short. Our Constitution and the Kenyan people demand that we work together so that we can deliver honest, effective, and accountable government. Honest, effective, and accountable government means that government policies need to be well conceptualized, planned, and implemented in the public interest. At the moment, however, many are almost routinely suspended, and that implementation delayed for months and even years while pending adjudication in courts. The unintended consequence of the swarms of injunctions is that it compromises the efficacy of the state to help create more jobs and opportunities for our people in a competitive, no holds barred world. We are not delivering when the executive's policy for bettering security by equipping our national police service with motor vehicles through leasing programs is stalled in the courts of law. It costs Kenyans lives when police officers are unable to promptly respond to emergencies. Other injunctions have led to hospitals remaining unbuilt, innovative programs that would spur our economy stuck in limbo, to mention just Mwea, at a cost of in excess of 10 billion shillings as a result of court litigation, is what we've had to pay to get that rice scheme going. Our nation is missing out on opportunities that are also going to other countries, because we are not alone. There are other people competing for the same resources. There should be no debate amongst us, and I think I have stated it severally, that the judiciary is independent and it must remain so. You are an equal branch of government to the other two. But I believe it is important to underscore that the independence is established in the public interest to serve Kenyans. As you exercise it, in considering whether to suspend government policies or otherwise, the public interest should be the overriding criteria. The well-being of Kenyans and their concrete interest is dependent on a government that betters their lives, but not any other more abstract or privileged other interests ahead of those of our people. And this happens when we litter the corridors of justice, of the executive, of the legislature, with corrupt gatekeepers and cartels that pander to vested interests. We are answering the questions Kenya have for us. Are they better off? Are they safer? Are they being treated more fairly? Are our public resources being protected from plunder by corruption? Honorable Chief Justice, you well know that I have launched and strongly supported an aggressive anti-corruption campaign as an answer to some of these searching questions. I believe the executive and its ministries, departments and agencies have undertaken policy changes, investigations and prosecutions of the fraudulent and corrupt. They have faced individuals holding high office with no regard for political or ethnic affiliation. And I believe Kenyans have been enormously encouraged by these actions. and they have been waiting for convictions or acquittals in a timely manner. I'm happy to hear from the Chief Justice that this year may be a year when Kenyans will get answers to these issues. So in my address to the nation last week, I highlighted the national dilemma and shame that we have been exposed to when Kenyans who have spent many years evading justice in Kenya were tried and convicted in the United States in less than a year. I believe that this case is testimony enough of how cartels were able to use gatekeepers in the executive, in various other arms of government, but also in the judiciary, to sustain a criminal enterprise that led to the direct suffering and deaths of Kenyans. We have corrupted our law enforcement agencies, our prosecutors, our national administrators, but also judges and magistrates. And indeed, Kenyans could not help comparing what happened in the United States and in Kenya, wondering why there is such a distance in the results that we deliver. I want to say that we will continue to work with our foreign counterparts using mutual legal and the necessary protocols to ensure that all those who shielded drug dealers and killers, as has come out, are brought to justice. Ladies and gentlemen, while we in the executive also must admit and can never claim in any way to be perfect, but I believe we can point to numerous cases of our senior officers who have been subjected to investigation and prosecution without any interference by the executive. I think we need to do this in all arms of government. As head of state and government, I will not abdicate my duty to do all that I can to protect the integrity of our judicial system and to oppose its capture by nefarious elements. So I urge the judiciary to undertake a frank internal conversation, as we are also doing, on whether we are meeting the expectations of Kenyans and whether we remain together on path of transformation that began in 2010. In the same way that the whole nation is discussing our renewal through Building Bridges initiatives, the judiciary should candidly discuss internally and with external stakeholders its current state and how it can also be better. External to the judiciary, as you carry out your deliberations, the other branches of government and the Kenyan people should also give consideration to how we can better support you, as you have said, and support your cause so that you can truly be an independent, effective, accountable, and public service-minded branch of government. We are ready to support you. We are. On the question of judicial funding, my administration will continue to do its best within resources available to support the judiciary with the resources required to enhance the access of justice. But we must accept, yes, we all want to fly first class, lakini itachukua muda. Pesa ni ile hiyo tu, hakuna ingine, haizalishwi kwa miti. Ni kodi ya Mkenya na ni ile iko, na hiyo tutagawanya zote. So we must also think now, how do we operate? Think out of the box. How do we operate within the resources that we have? Because we can't create more. And to that end, I also thank the development partners who have stepped in and supported us in the realization of our objectives. But I must also say the rationalization in our revenue projections in the current financial year applied to all arms of government, the executive, the legislature, and even the judiciary. And we must accept that. And I believe that we have not cut any operation areas or any development budget that has not yet started. We haven't. And if indeed we have, let us go through and see if there is some critical area that we can relook at as we look at the second supplementary. Because we must acknowledge that the areas that we focused our cuts on, I don't believe will grind to a halt the wheels of justice. Because one of the circulars, for example, which apply to all of us, is to say that we don't need to buy you 3 newspapers every day. Jameni, si ununue gazeti yako ukitoka nyumbani. Why do you have to find it on your desk? Nunua yako, hata mimi siku hizi nanunua yangu. Ai, jameni. Why do we have to go? And why can't we use in-house training facilities and hospitality venues rather than utilizing hotels? We have a whole school of government here. Why do you need to fly all the way to Mombasa to stay at Serena Hotel? Si muende hapa tu, hapa na si mbali. Yeah. Na kuna rooms hapo, muna book, munafanya conference, na wako na chakula mzuri sana hapo, na ni bei ya zero. Hata mutapata room for free. Yeah? Namna hiyo. Na mambo ya kutravel, una travel mtu anaenda peke yake. Why do you need a delegation? Anyway, I don't see how those can compromise. Lakini kama kuna ingine iko na shida, CJ, ambaye inahusu maendeleo, tuangalie pamoja, tukubaliane jameni, na ndio tuweze kuendelea. So ladies and gentlemen, I am not in any fighting mood with anybody. I am here to congratulate you for the work that you do. I am here to assure you of my full support in what is possible. I am here to ask you to also ask yourself serious questions when you give injunctions, because I appreciate what CJ is saying. Yes, you need more money. But CJ, your courts are the same ones. When we propose certain tax measures, you are the first ones to say injunction. Hiyo isikuja. Sasa pesa hii itatoka wapi? Where will it come from? Hapana, that one, hiyo unconstitutional, hiyo itakuja review siku hiyo na hiyo. Alafu the same mouth nataka pesa. Sasa itatoka wapi jameni? Wewe umefunga, alafu unasema unataka. Sasa itatoka wapi? You know, these are serious questions we have to ask ourselves. Very serious questions. Right? Because naona kuna professionals. Tunawasoma tu kila siku. Mimi sijui wanaingia kwenu, sitaki kuwataja hapa kwa sababu mimi sina vita na mtu. Kini nyinyi wenyewe mnawajua, wanaingia ofisi, hapana, fungeni hii project. Na anafunga project kwa sababu ya contractor ambaye failed to get a job. So, project inasimama. And we know the professionals who do that business. Surely, if we are working for the same public interest, I ask myself, why is it that 99% of these cases are filed by one person? And you, as munampatia, same day, hata hamgojei ati muambia kuja next week, same day, chukua hii, funga hiyo, nafunga hiyo, nafunga hii, nafunga hii, nafunga hii. I think there's something there, ladies and gentlemen, that one must interrogate and ask themselves. Well, me, I'm your partner. I want to do great things. And we have had a wonderful discussion with the CJ. I only wish they were more regular. And I think we would make huge advances. And yo mimi siongei, mimi nasikia tu, nasoma gazeti, mlisema, kasema okay, mimi nanyamaza tu, tunaendelea. But let us talk together. We all have a responsibility to make this country better. We all have a responsibility to make this country more efficient. We all have a responsibility to make this country more prosperous. We all have a responsibility to make this country fairer. There is nobody bigger or smaller than the other. We are all equal. We have been given a mandate by the people of this country. We just need to respect one another. We just need to sit and do that which is in the public interest. Independence does not mean that we come from different countries. Ukifunga huduma namba, umefungia Wakenya wote. Hata wewe mwenyewe. Ukifunga, ile ingine unafunga. You need to ask yourself, how? Why? What is the purpose of this person who is bringing this thing here? Who is he acting for? Is he acting in the public interest, or is he acting for selfish interest? My friends, why do you need to stop it? Kitu iendelee. Mtu anakuja, nimeambiwa nilipe kodi, injunction, asilipe kodi. Si umwambie lipa kwanza, alright? Alafu kama uko na genuine case, tutahakikisha umekuwa reimbursed. Lakini hii mnasema hapana, asilipe. Lakini kesho we need more money. Let us look at each other. Let us work together. Let us love our country. Let us love each other. Bwana CJ, I look forward in this new year to be meeting with you on a very regular basis, together with your services and your commission. And I look forward to us doing even better to meet the expectations of the great people of this republic. May God bless you all. Asante sana.